These two kayaks are gonna blow your mind. They were designed with one purpose in mind: to make kayak fishing the best that it could possibly be for you. And today I'm gonna be comparing these two kayaks, yes, they're kayaks, without holding back anything. Boom! If my bunks were right, it maybe would have gotten off. Right here we got two fishing kayaks, the ePDL Plus by Old Town, and this one right here, the Tactical 128 by Wilderness System. And guess what, they still cost a lot less than that it's gonna spend in gas in a week, you know. Anyways, going back to the subject at hand, I'm trying to compare these two boats, but it's not fair to compare a $6,000 boat versus a $2,800 boat. Like, there's no comparison there. This is cost like twice as much as that, right? So we had to build this one up a little bit, and I started putting stuff that I have laying around the house, like that Minn Kota 80-pound trolling motor and that NK300 with a battery. And I don't know what happened to me, but I think like my brain got a little crazy because I put too much stuff over there to compare to this. So for a fair comparison in terms of cost, let's compare just the kayak, the ePDL Plus from Old Town as it comes from the factory, include a battery and the drive and the motor, versus your Tactical by adding a super nice trolling motor like this one and a battery. If you add those three, I would say it should be very compatible. I'll tally the numbers and give you the total numbers. These two kayaks are about, well, this one is a 120, it's 12 feet long exactly, although I'm not sure if they measure the rudder. The Tactical is 128, 12 feet 8 inches, so it's a little longer, but it's much wider. Like, look at it. I was looking at this boat the other day from, like, I was sitting down, right, and they were on the trailer, and I looked up and this one looked like a pond, like a bass raider basically, right? That's what this one looks like, and that one still look like a kayak. Now some people are gonna argue that this is pushing the boundaries, it's too fat, it's too wide and whatever, but I mean, kayaks have been wide and fat for a long time, so I'm not gonna take anything away from this. Now this thing does have an integrated pedal drive that happen to have an e-assist motor, and that makes it, in a lot of people's mind, a boat. So I guess these two boats are boats, although a kayak is a boat, smaller boat, and a bigger boat is a boat, like a bigger boat. All right, let's get into the details here. The ePDL Plus, when you buy it, comes with everything you need, and it costs $6,000. This one, let's say you go and get this fancy NK motor, that's $2,800, and add a fancy Amped Outdoors lithium battery, which is in there. Let's say that battery is $800, and if you add everything up, we're talking about $6,400. But if you use my coupon code for Amped Outdoors, you're gonna save 10% off, and you're gonna knock down some of that price, you know. Coupon code is Aliex Folgueira, by the way. So right now I present this to you. We're looking at this setup ready to go with a bow motor and a battery, 80-pound trolling motor. You're gonna go about 4 plus 5 miles an hour if you get lucky. $6,400, but you have GPS control, you have spot lock, you have hands-free fishing, you got stability, you got space, you got like so much you could do to this boat. Is crazy. That one over there doesn't come with spot lock, right? Doesn't come with the navigation, but what it comes with is that drive, and it's very easy. Like, a lot of times, I mean, I spent like 2 hours, I mean, it wasn't 2 hours, but I spent like what it felt like a long time trying to set up this boat at the boat ramp. Like, I needed to put in that motor, I needed to plug it in, I had to have the battery in there. Then I started adding the rear motor, which you don't have to, but let's say you want to, and that's another hassle. And yes, if you have a trailer, you could have this boat ready to go, and boom, still there's a lot of stuff that you have to deal with. It's crazy the amount of stuff that you have to stay on top of. Charge that battery, charge the battery underneath, make sure those connection works, put grease everywhere, the seat, the everything. It's like you need a checklist, right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, I'm just saying that this is more for your hardcore prepared fishing, while this boat right here, don't even have to think about it. Like, when I get home, I just, well, before I leave, I take this cable, I put it in there, and the kill switch, and that's it, right? That's it. All I have to do is grab this motor and go. The battery is in there. If you're gonna not use it for a while, you should totally disconnect it and remove it from there, right? Keep it in a safe place. But it's a tiny little battery that weighs nothing. It's like no effort whatsoever. I keep mine there, you know. But just remember to disconnect it because it could run out of juice if it's connected to the boat. Don't ask me how I know, but it's simple. Like the other day, I needed to come here to Black Point to do some stuff, and I didn't want to do nothing. If I had to set that boat up to come here, I wouldn't have done it. Well, this one, it was easy. I just put it on the truck, grabbed the drive, and came here and did what I had to do. That easy. What is that over there? Maybe I need to go fishing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nice. Oh my god, something is chasing it. Maybe I should cast. Oh my goodness. But here's the kicker, guys. You see that over there on that tactical? Guess what? You could put that motor in here because I have done it. And now you got GPS control trolling motor. You just slap it in there. And that rear motor, you could plug it in here, one of this thing right here, and then it's gonna be offset, and then just set it to not move, to go straight, and then just steer with a giant rotor that I added myself. And you're probably asking, how do you match the prices? Well, assume that cost enough to match the prices, $6,400 each, right? Because that rotor I didn't install it, my friend installed a road wheel, but it's an aftermarket. It's from Old Town, but it's an aftermarket rotor. Anyways, you could have those dual motors set up right here on this boat, and then on top of that you could choose to add, I don't know, you could choose to keep your drive. So you got like bow motor, pedal, manual, and assist, and rear motor. Crazy. That's something that is super cool about this boat. Another thing you could do with this boat is, you see that there, you could remove the motor entirely and just put a plate in there with foam under all around it, so water is not gonna like be a, I mean, it's gonna be a problem, but it's not gonna be such a problem. And you could use this boat just like that. Like you could just put in that motor here, plug it in there, and use this boat without the drive and without the rear motor. Another thing that I want to mention is that you don't have to go and buy a $3,000 motor. You could simply buy the new Minn Kota 36-inch trolling motor they came up with. It's a 45-pound truss trolling motor, and what you're gonna use it for is mainly just fishing, so you don't need that much extra power. You can still have your rear motor over there, and you could put it in on this boat and on this boat. Like that trolling motor goes anywhere as long as you're able to set up the installation and all that stuff. But now let's get into some crazy details. This kayak right here is gonna be a lot drier than that one over there if you're just gonna use the bow motor. If you take the drive out and you just put the bow motor in there and the plate, water's still gonna come through there because it's very low, because it's designed to give you space so your circle of motion of the PDL drive will go through, you know, like your feet not gonna touch the ground. That's why it's lower to the ground. And this one is not. Like if you look at it, it's higher. That means the deck is gonna be a lot drier. This boat also has way more space to do what you want, and one of the best things that it has is that here on the back, this is clean, right? You could choose to put your motor in the center, and you could still choose to put power pole on the side, although you're gonna have to drill through. But hey, this thing already has a lot of holes, so what is 2 more holes? Over here, the Old Town already has the power pole fittings already ready to go. You just plug it in and boom, and you're ready to go. You don't have to do the drilling or anything like that. But I mean, it's not such a big deal. For me it is, because sometimes I don't have time to set up anything, I just need to go. So having the inserts already there is huge. But my point is, you could do it. Another thing that I didn't mention is that this boat comes pre-wired. So all I did to install that motor over there was to put in the motor, plug it into that connection over there, and the battery is back here, plug into the cables, and I didn't have to route anything. If you're gonna do the same installation over there that we have here on this kayak, you're gonna have to run the cables. But the cool thing about the cables is that Old Town thought about that. So it has, you see here on the bow, they put that through hole right there. So you could run the cables underneath, just run it all the way back. They even added back here some little clips that you could put in the battery. Over there you see that through hole there, so the cable will go through there, plug into the battery, run underneath the motor, and you essentially will have the same thing that you have over there. Which boat you should own? And if you asked me a few months ago, I would probably say 100% I want to go for the tactical, because I could put the motors and stuff like that. But the truth is, it's a big boat and I'm not that huge. And what I'm trying to say is that this boat right here from Old Town, I could make it work for me. I don't mind the water on the deck. So I could choose to put the plate that I have and put the bow motor and essentially have what I already have here. So I don't have to worry about that. In terms of the other things that I could do to it, I could definitely put in the NK motor here on the back on a fixed position, and I'm still gonna be able to steer with this rudder, right? Something that you could do over here. Now you're gonna do it more efficiently over here because you're gonna be able to steer with your feet instead of having to steer with the hand thing. but you could 100% modify this boat that you could put some full steering on it as well. But that's kind of like an aftermarket. So if that is very important to you, where you want to steer with your feet and you want to have hands-free fishing, this may be the way to go. And I'm going back and forth because I really love that hands-free steering with my feet and being able to fish. I also love the spot lock. And that combination, that's why I love the autopilot so much, because you got the trolley motor and you got the rotor on the back and you can steer with your feet. So I think in the end, I'm still probably leaning back towards this kind of kayak instead of having the hand steering. But what is drawing me back to the Old Town is the ease of use, is the fact that I don't have to do nothing and I have a motor built in, and that to me right now is worth a lot. And spot lock and all this stuff is nice, but I could always just add a power pole that I have back here. Oh my god, a school of tarpon, bro! Those are huge tarpons! Oh my goodness! Record something! No, with the phone! Oh, I'm not gonna get it! There's a school of tarpon feeding there! Oh my goodness! Huge tarpon, bro! Oh my god, here at Black Point, whoever's fishing for them would love it. Dude, I can't cast to them. They're too far away. Oh my god. Crazy school of tarpon, bro. Let me see if I'm able to cast from land. Oh yeah, there's no way I could get them. They're over there already. Wow. Oh, some tarpons. There's some tarpons rolling over there. I may be able to catch one or at least hook one because they look big. So to finalize my thought, oh my god, to finalize my thoughts here, I'm kind of undecided. Like, I go by how I'm feeling that day. So that's why I still have these two type of boats, where you have a boat that doesn't have a drive and it comes with two motors and a GPS control and all that stuff, and you have hands-free fishing and steering with your feet. Yeah, I see them, they're still there. And instead of, or another day, I don't want to deal with any of that, I just want to take the drive. So hopefully you're like me as well and you feel that way. In my world, I don't have to choose, and maybe you don't have to choose either. Maybe have both of them. Let me go chase the tarpons. And we were interrupted by the school of tarpons, and I couldn't finish my thought about this comparison. And it's something that it may matter to you guys. This boat is huge, so it's gonna have areas that may look like that, kind of like warp. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care, you know. It is what it is. Some people may, I don't. My main beef though is this area here, and maybe this is rated for like a 45-pound thrust trolling motor instead of like an 80-pound, but it's still, I think the same thing will happen where it kind of like digs in. Like if you keep it in the heat, this thing is gonna get soft because plastic is gonna get soft, and it may dig a little bit in there. But I mean, I had it in the water, maximum speed, quick turns, and I didn't feel anything. But some people may not like this. There's an easy fix though. You could just put up not heavy, but a thick block of foam underneath this, and then it's not gonna be doing the flexing anymore that you see there. Again, plastic flex, supposed to flex. If it didn't flex, if it was rigid, look at glass, right? Something's gonna hit it, it's gonna break. Would you rather your boat just hits something, bump, and nothing happens, or you rather like it hit something and it shattered completely, right? So always a trade-off.